And what does that say going forth for Prime Minister Erdogan? How weakened is he now?
Well, I don't know what measure that we are going to take in order to, to make a judgment how weakened he is. If we are going to take, his performance in the public opinions, if we are going to take his performance in opinion polls, we don't see like of support for him and his party. So from this perspective, that he is not very much weakened. He has lost some votes. He has lost couple percentage of the votes, but we haven't seen any big drop so far.
Galip Dalay, does Prime Minister Erdogan need a new communications advisor?
Well, can I can I make like some other comments before I answer this question? Because I think something needs to be adjusted.
Sure.
First, Emre Demir said he lost legitimacy in the eyes of the people. So that means people disapproves Erdogan. We hear this line of argument, especially from Gülenist papers such as Zaman, Today Zaman, quite often after this power struggle between Gülen movement and AK Party government. But which people? The opinion polls still shows 45%, 46% of the support. So does he also count this as part of the people? So if not, who is the right people in order, who fits into the right conception of people when we talk about the people of Turkey? And the other things was that, what only injustice comes out of the this government. I cannot accept this because this is an insult to Turkey's people, not just government. So that means Turkey's people condone injustice. Definitely every single loss is heartbreaking and is sad. And I feel deeply sad for what has happened yesterday. But let's not forget, the country that we are living in. In 1990s, the Kurds were being killed on the street by hundreds, not by one or 10 or 10. We are living in a country that has, that has had a civil war in a sense, which resulted in over 40,000 of people's death. So,
but is it a smart move? Is it a smart move on the part of the Prime Minister when he calls those demonstrating charlatans?
Well, definitely not. Definitely not. I totally disagree, and I do agree that some language adjustment is badly needed. But when we do make analysis as a political analyst, we cannot only focus on discourse. We also have to focus on the deeds. If we don't focus on the deeds, we cannot understand why Turkish people are supporting the government, because it is also the same people that had favorable opinion, around 70 to 80% of the European Union accession process. So how can you expect a population which has favorable opinion in accession to the European Union by margin of 70 and 80% at the same time supporting supposedly injustice, supposedly a government who lost its legitimacy in the eyes of the people? So there is a very big problem here when we analyze the situation. Well, again, right now we're talking about discourse and action. Yesterday, a couple days ago, he talked about even possibly taking some measure against Facebook and YouTube. But yesterday he had also another interview. He totally said we do not have any such idea at all. So right now it's it will be more reasonable if we talk about policy wise what has been implemented and what has been affected. I know that some of the policy that has recently been introduced do have some problematic aspect, and it has been hotly debated within the Turkish politics and within the Turkish in Turkish media as well. And because of that, some correction and some amendment has been made to the proposal that has been made. It is still a continuing process, for many other policies. But in the end, if this government and if any other government in Turkey is reliant on the support of the people in order to continue their term, they cannot do anything against the wishes of the people. And knowing that Turkey is well connected with the world, its economy is dependent on the global economy. It's a candidate for the European Union. It's dependent on foreign direct investment. I mean, it structurally cannot go down this road. Any government pursue this road, it will be voted out, whether a day earlier or later. So in this regard, I suggest that we focus on the actions rather than the words.
This week, the European Parliament also worried about what's going on. They discussed Turkey, which is still, as was mentioned by Galip Dalay, very much a candidate to join the EU. At the end of the session, though, the Enlargement Commissioner put out this tweet, Stefan Füle, saying, "Tonight's debate in the European Parliament showed that Turkey is losing its supporters. Reflection and follow-up in Ankara is needed to reverse this trend." Galip Dalay, your thoughts?
I do think that Turkey's European process is very important and it's very much in the interest of both sides, and therefore, Turkey should make sure that it doesn't lose any friends in Europe. To the contrary, it has to gain further friends in Europe, because the European project is one of the goals that unite the very large section of the Turkish society. And there is some downsides that we have recently witnessed, but also there is some positive sides that after the 3 years that we have seen the opening of a new chapter. And in the report also they have suggested, European Parliament has suggested the opening of 2 more chapters, and the replacement of the previous Minister of European Affairs in Turkey with one more Europhile, one more committed to the European project, was a move in the right direction. So I know that it is obvious after the Gezi Park protests and after the December 17 events that Turkey does, things in Turkey does not move smoothly. But putting this in perspective, that the new European minister is more Europhile, that we have seen more visits from Erdogan to Brussels after years, it is a move in the right direction. And I do expect right after local election to see a new activism on the part of the government vis-a-vis the European project.